And we're back with some more oxygen not included on our little mini baby base. And today we're going to try and install a sour gas boiler. I'm going to say try because I'm not trying to get the whole thing done in one episode. It's going to be, well, we're going to be ripping out all of this to put it in. So I want to kind of get through the last of the magma before we do that. However, right now, something special has happened. We've managed to knock out the last of the research. Well, we haven't quite gotten all the interstellar research, but we have got all the advanced and novice research, which means that research lab can go away and never come back, and that a supercomputer can go away and never come back. Also, we don't need the dirt anymore, and since we don't need the dirt anymore, we can get rid of that arbor tree because we don't need it. That means we can also get rid of the ethanol distillery, freeing up even more space. The petroleum generator can go, but I think we're going to keep it around until we've burned off that liquid reservoir. There's a bunch of power in there. That's 5 tons of power we've got. We might as well keep it around because when this goes down, we're going to be running a little bit short on power, and I don't want to have everyone running on manual generators to keep it going. Now, is there anything else we can get rid of? Oh, yes. We can start getting rid of all these composts. I want to make sure all the dirt is gone, or all the polluted dirt is gone off the map. But I think we're golden. Yeah, well, we can start demolishing these so we won't need them anymore. That's going to free up so much more space. And the plan today is we're going to take all of this, transplant it into the middle, rip out these steam turbines. This whole cooling solution in the middle has got to go. We're going to migrate it down here somewhere. Yeah, there's going to be an awful lot of changes. But first I'm going to let the rockets finish their thing so that we get the last of the research out, and then we're going to switch this over entirely to cargo. While we are waiting to finish off this magma tank, I thought we'd take advantage of some of the thimble reed, well, the polluted water we're getting out of our water vent. So I installed a lot of reed fiber, just to... We're going to have excess polluted water. We might as well start stockpiling the stuff we're going to want in installation at a later date, so why not? At the same time, my poke shells did get loose, but we managed to rein those back in again. Anyway, the next rocket is on its way out to this ring. Once we've got those 2 planets knocked out of the way, the last of the research will be done, and we can finally start with this massive renovation. Time to mop up the last of this magma. It has served us so well, but yeah, time's up. Alright, we'll get that across there. We'll sweep this up, and we're going to have to install a quick sweepy dock. Usual rules apply. Let's just make sure it gets steel to it. 1 steel sweepy on their way to mop up the last of the magma. You know what? We will enable that as well. That should allow us to start pulling out the last of the magma out of the pitcher pump also. Perfect. Ooh, I'm going to miss being on the magma though. That served us so well for so long. It's going to be weird just living on non-magma power sources. But, yeah, times change and we need something more compact and more powerful. We'll just grab that. Let's see what the future has in store. It's finally done. We've literally scooped out every single piece of magma and turned it into power and rocks. Yep, totally worth it. Now, get rid of all of that. And I'm afraid, Sweepy... Yeah, sorry. Oh. And someone's trapped up there again. Well, with that all done, what we can do is we can demolish these. And I think what we'll do is we'll seal off this area and join it in with the rest of the map over that side. I mean, why not? That should make things far simpler for us. Now we're going to have to start decommissioning this steam turbine room. That should only be minorly messy. I think what we'll do is we'll wait until most of the steam has been eaten, and then we will crack it open from the top. There's a cooling loop going around here, and that should hopefully help stop all the steam from immediately causing us massive problems. So I think we'll pour all of the loose polluted water we've got lying around the map down there first. Ooh, what a good blueprints. Yeah, we'll just take the iron. We can always use more metal on this map. Let me do some tidying up here. I've dumped in the last of the abyssalite in here, and, well, pretty much all of the stuff that was lying around. What's left in there? Just abyssalite? Yeah, we'll try rotating the abyssalite through here, but I don't think it does any decent heat transfer. In the meantime, we can deconstruct that and finish walling it in. Do we have any... Give me some igneous rock. Come on, there we go. We'll get some igneous rock, we'll wall that in, and then we can start worrying about dealing with this leftover steam once it's cooled down to about 120 C. Now we're going to demonstrate why I never load abyssalite onto these things. Abyssalite just doesn't lose temperature. Or if it does, it's so incredibly slow you can't really tell. 823.7, and it's just staying there. It just does not change temperature. We have some stuff here, some of it's 1300 C. I think that 823 degree stuff, that's been sitting there since the start of the steam turbine. So it will slowly dump heat. It's just so slow. So instead, we just sort of have to let it all through. I think it will exchange a bit of heat with the metal tiles it's passing through, will it? No. Right, well, now that that's done, let's figure out how we're going to dispose of all this steam. Alright, please don't explode on me. That's all I ask. I'm going to pop out 1 tile, and I just don't want masses of steam going everywhere. That would be really bad. We'll just put some tiles down, and then all we'll do is, hey, let's take out this one. Why not? One tile should do it. Yeah, that's probably okay. Well, there's like a ton of steam down there. We'll just let that slowly get eaten up by our heat deletion. I don't know if our... Whoa, that's going to send... yeah, it's going to make the place nice and warm for a while. That cooling loop through there is now 56 degrees. Oops. We may have accidentally turned our bedrooms a little bit toastier than we were intending. But no, it's fine. Slowly but surely it's all turning back into water. Now we just got to deal with this mess. I'll sort it out. That was far less painful than I thought it was going to be. Though I may overflow my water storage just a tiny bit. I don't think there's actually anything I'm using water for anymore now that science is done. We don't use it for food. We don't use it for science. I think we're good. Polluted water, though, I'm going to have to start feeding that into this system. Quick, small disposal area should be fine. To dispose of the excess water and polluted water, we're just going to dump it all down here. That will feed into our... This is our sewer line here, so it'll feed into our sewer line and go up and get, well, processed. Oh, yeah, there's going to be an bunch of clean water in there as well. Damn it, I think the whole system's backed up. Well, I'll have to find some way to dispose of the clean water. Actually, that might be a better idea. What if we just get the clean water and dump it in here? We don't need to not do that. That should be perfectly fine. You know what? We'll even put a few more over here. Why not? With the way the rockets work, that should hopefully save us an awful lot of hassle. Yeah, let's stop this one. Alright, that should only do polluted water now. And polluted water can get processed by the system as normal. It's just if we put clean water into the system, it's going to end up backing up into these plants and cause these plants to, yeah, irrigation issues. Yeah, they've got clean water in them now. I'm going to have to go and vent these all out again. Oh, and the annoying thing is you have to do it one at a time. So it's empty storage, next, empty storage. So much free new real estate for us to invest in. We are going to have to cut everything. Ooh, this side. That means we're probably going to have to seal this up here and then bring in people from the top. In fact, I don't think we even need this vacuum here anymore. The temperature difference between this oil and the rest of the base is not really that major. So, yeah, I think even more of this can go, which is always good news. Alright, this part of the base is now clean and ready for renovations. We can squeeze in our sour gas boiler right through this area. Though that will mean we're going to have to move our bedrooms and all of that. So I'm thinking we get rid of our steam turbines first. We put our new steam turbine system over here. Yeah, if we put our steam turbines here, we can put most of our industrial stuff down here and turn it into a sort of a little miniature industrial sauna that feeds into the rocket silo. That way the heat from the rocket silo will feed into our industrial sauna and vice versa. Should keep things nice and safe. Though we did get a few meteors in the last day and it did dump in some carbon dioxide. We may have to find a way to dispose of that. Okay, we will have to find a way to dispose of that. But I have a few ideas. But let's get the renovation started. Maybe start with, yes, a new cooling loop down here. After much thinking, I've decided this whole area down here, yeah, industrial brick. We are going to put in, well, 7 natural gas generators down here is what we're going to be aiming for. That's what's going to be, well, that's going to be the output of our sour gas boiler. So this all needs to be modified. This place might be a bit small. I think we're going to have to rip off this roof layer and put in even more. So yeah, that means we're going to have to move all of this up and probably move the coal generators. You know what? We've got space over the side. We can pop the coal generators over here instead, just temporarily. All right, now we have some coal power going on over here. We can demolish this and move this whole thing up a few layers. We just want to squeeze in one more layer of stuff right here, especially considering we need to replace our cooling loop. So our cooling loop needs to go on down here in this little industrial sauna we're making. I remember when our industrial saunas were like, we're this big. We'd make our industrial saunas this size. Now we've got to cram something into a shoebox inside a shoebox. It was a long, long time ago that we put in this little pump down here. It takes care of the waste that comes out of our petroleum generators and our natural gas generators, which, yep, we got a decent amount of natural gas left and a decent amount of ethanol left. Though we are going through it, we need to move these things along. And why does someone have a sickly face on them? Who was that? What's wrong with you, Moth? Food poisoning? How does anyone have food poisoning? Oh, I stopped putting chlorine in there. I'm going to have to put chlorine back in there again to stop that from happening. That is rather unfortunate. Oh, poke shell. Yep, more lime. I think we will just have to wrangle you up now. And what we can do is we can make sure people can get in that direction. Yes, well, this down here, we still sort of need it for now until the industrial brick comes online. So we got to move the whole thing up a few tiles just so we can cram in a few extra pieces of space. Is that going to work? Yep, and I think we've got our sewer line. Yeah, our sewer line goes around that. So, yeah, I think we're golden. Perfect. Now we can demolish the rest of this. Then we can get rid of everything in here, and it's going to be a case of strapping one more layer onto this. I think it's just going to be a 2-tile high layer where we can put in our batteries and transformers. I'm going to make this a little bit wider. I think this will be the edge of... Yeah, you know what, maybe don't make that the whole way up just yet. Yeah, this will be the edge of our industrial sun. It'll go up to about there. You know what, it'll look better when it's finished. Our industrious little dupes are taking care of the last of this. At the same time, I think we're going to need a generator right about there. That gives us exactly 7 natural gas generators. We're going to be running slightly under a kilo of sour... Well, we're going to be running our natural gas boiler or sour gas boiler at slightly under a kilo. Now, oh no. Utilities. We're going to want to get in a thermal aqua tuner. We're probably going to make it a steel, and we're going to check it right about there, I'm thinking. That will be what's going to provide our cooling. It'll be taking over from this and provide the cooling for the entirety of our base. We'll stick in a battery over this side to manage all of these things. We're going to have to make that out of steel as well. To go with that, oh, you know what, we should probably put in some automation wires. That will be controlling all of our natural gas generators. So, boom, all the way along. I'm making it all out of steel. This whole thing I'm going to make it of steel because steel, well, we're going to end up with more and more steel as we go along. And it converts our iron into 25% more. If we have 100 kilos of iron, we're going to end up with, or 75 kilos of iron, we end up with 100 kilos of steel. So it's just more efficient that way, long-term thinking-wise. I know it's weird to think that way, but that's how it's going to work out for us, hopefully. I think that should be about right. We'll stick in one... Okay, we got a little bit of wasted space over here, but I think we can stick in a large power transformer right there. And that will be our industrial brick. Let's put in maybe a few... Well, we're going to have to strap some steam turbines on top to eat the heat, but maybe a few granite temperature shift plates. There we go. That should be a perfectly reasonable industrial brick. Once we figure out how to do the plumbing, the power, the gas, the carbon dioxide exit pipes. Oh, we'll also have to do the metal refinery outputs. There's a few things that still need to be figured, but we should have just about enough space to do that. Next up, yeah, we need to find somewhere to move. Oh, damn it, we got to move more of this out of the way, don't we? Just a little bit more squishing. And now we can get all the polluted water collected from in there. Okay, we also had to redo the plumbing and a few other bits and bobs. But it's a small price to pay for getting this all nice and neat and just up just enough to fit in this new industrial brick. Which reminds me, we're going to have to vacuum this out. Also, what is that? That is... Oh, that's the exit from the natural gas generator. You know what? We are going to stick that over there. High pressure gas vent. Yeah, the natural gas carbon dioxide can go over there. I have actually removed all the carbon skimmers. We'll put them back in later, but for the time being, I think we can not worry about it. Until it starts getting up to the point where it's starting to interfere with our housing units, as in where the duplicants are sleeping, I don't think we need to care. And get rid of that, and boom. Okay, nice and clean. Alright, now we're going to seal this place in and make it airtight, and oh my god, you cannot get out of there, can you? You know what? That needs to be prioritized. Someone want to get in there? Oh, no, they can't. I've managed to wall them in, haven't I? You know what? Yep, we can get you out of there pretty quick. Come on, get that built. Come on, you can go for lunch in a second. Perfect. We'll wall this in on this side. And then what we'll do is we'll put it in a viscogel lock. Done. Oof, damn, it's so fast at the speeds. And I'll make that sweep only, and that should be a full visco lock. Perfect. Sealed in. Now we do the same down here. We're going to open this area up to this rocket, and oh, the rocket came back. Perfect, and it didn't destroy the doors this time. Perfect. Visco gel. That's what I love about those bottle emptiers. If you put them at just one tab below, it'll still load it up. Just makes it so much more convenient. And that's another one down. Now we just demolish this. Reverse it around. Put in the visco gel lock the other side. At this speed, it's kind of ridiculous. I love the speed mod. It makes late game just so much handier. Well, oh yeah, only if you're playing a map small enough that you can get away with it and you have enough specs on your PC to handle it. But it does mean you can get things done so much quicker. Yeah, that can go, boom. And then we have we're going to put a vacuum seal in here, and that will mean that no heat from this should be able to escape. Alright, now all we got to do is vacuum the whole sucker out. They are just so industrious. With all of that done, oh, I should probably hook this up as well. Otherwise, you know what, we'll, yeah, if we don't hook that up now, we're going to have problems later. I think, yeah, you'll do. While all of this goes on, we need to get rid of these. I actually have quite a bit of petroleum and crude oil left over from our oil rocket days. I don't want to leave that in there. It's going to mess up, well, it's going to interfere with the heating, as in we're going to have to heat up all that crude oil and petroleum, and that's just an awful lot of wasted heat. So I think what we're going to do is dump all the crude oil in here, and then we'll do the same with the petroleum. We'll dump them into these liquid tanks, and then we'll deconstruct them. If they sit up here, they will be out of the way. It should be fine. With the last of all of the gunk moved out of here, we can finally get around to sealing this place up. How I'm going to heat the water, I'm not quite sure about yet. I think the metal refinery may come in on that. We can disable iron to steel for now. You know what? We will disable all of these for now. We're going to need all of that heat to start turning this place into a steam sauna. Plus, I really have to heat up that viscogel. One of those blobs of viscogel immediately got sucked in there. God knows why, but hopefully the other blob will stay there. I want to make sure no carbon dioxide gets in here when we start opening up into the rocketry area. But we'll worry about that later. For now, add water, make steam. One very important thing is to make sure we put a vacuum lock in here. We needed a vacuum seal. I completely blanked that, of course, and I had it too walled in. I couldn't fit it in because of power connectors and all that. But now that that's done, we can finally seal this up here and put everything back where it was. Now, we're going to need a lot of steam to go in here. Well, a lot of hot water. So where are we going to get oodles and oodles of steam that we can just dump right into our system? I was thinking, right here, we have a buttload of hot steam. It's actually pretty well sorted already. There's some carbon dioxide down there, but I think if we launch this one more time, we can then just stick in some gas pumps and grab some 200 plus degree steam to throw in here just to get us started. To pump all of this steam in, we're going to use 2 thermium gas pumps, 1 thermium gas filter, and we're going to pump it all into this section. And before, whoa, why are you already hooked up to power? How can you even be hooked up to power? I've built it through a power low wire, haven't I? Alright, that was a minor mistake. You know what? We'll hook those both up there. And we will just leave that one not hooked up just yet. What we need to do, though, is the carbon dioxide in here, we need some way of getting rid of it. So we're going to have this waste pipe that goes up, and we have to dump it off into space. However, we don't have anywhere to dump it into space yet. And this has given me an idea. This gantry, if we leave it here, we can literally just hop across. Which is what we sort of need. You know what? We'll just finish those off there. So we can get rid of this ladder across the top and do a little bit of a minor tweak here. We're going to need to make this change quickly so we don't lose too much gas, but if we just delete all the background buildings here, off we go. And then the moment they're gone, we're going to get ourselves some mechanized airlocks made out of steel. Okay, 2. Quickly, come on, let's get these done. They are pretty fast though. Boom, boom, and boom. Alright, we lost... Oh, come on. We lost a fair bit of steam, but all of that is now... This here sort of acts as a cushion layer where we can dump in waste gases for whatever we like. It also has an added bonus. Alright, if we hook that up there... What'll happen now is whenever a rocket is coming back, the moment it lands and this decides, oh, the rocket's here, it will close these doors instantly, which will stop the gas escaping as fast. Instead of having to wait 34 seconds, I want to say, or is it 38? I think it's 38 seconds. 38 seconds for the bunker doors to close to stop venting gas. These airlocks will just instantly close. Well, I'm not going to bother powering them, so almost instantly close. But that means we have somewhere to pump our waste carbon dioxide now, which means we can now hook up the power on this once we sort out which gas we're filtering for. We want steam. Give me... Wow, okay, there's too much in here. Steam it is. And hook up the power. Alright, that's going to start dumping steam into our... Oh, 1 second. That's going to start dumping steam into our industrial brick. Temperature-wise... Yeah, that's going to take a while to heat everything up. But the moment we start to run out of steam in here, we can just launch the rocket and capture another bunch of steam. Seems like a simple procedure. Also, this down here, this needs to be hooked up. Where is it? We are going to transfer all of our viscogel from this up here. We've stopped using this one, so we are going to empty storage. There is 800 kilos of naphtha in there. We're then going to get the naphtha, and we're going to dump it down here. Where are we? Naphtha. Perfect. Oh, did I make sure that was sweep only? Sweep only? Yes. Perfect. We sweep that all down there. And then that should all get dumped right into our little metal refinery. Once we have 800 kilos in there, we'll be good to start our metal refinement down here, which means we can start turning all of this water down here back into steam. Well, it's going pretty okay. We've got 800 kilos of naphtha here ready to go. Gas-wise, the gas is not getting too far. The reason being, well, it's heating up everything as it goes, so we need to dump even more heat in here, which is where the good old metal refinery comes in. Someone will come down to fill that up, and then we'll get some nice hot naphtha coming down here along the bottom layer. By the time it gets out, yeah, that's going to add some nice temperature to this whole area. Perfect. We run a few batches of that through it, and we should finally start getting this whole place up to speed. You know what? We'll run 10 batches through it. Why not? Let's go crazy. Now that is starting to look like a proper industrial sauna. Come on, just keep spreading. We will have to add in some more natural gas generators, but for the time being, I'm just leaving a little bit of space. This down here will have to be opened up at a later date, but for the time being, I dumped all of our brine in here. So the brine is going to need to be melted, but that should not be an issue. I'm thinking the moment we launch our next rocket, there'll be enough heat to turn all that brine into some nice steam, which we can then pump in here. This has actually emptied out most of the rocket silo. You'll see that it's down to grams of pressure in here. I think I'm going to vacuum it out until all the carbon dioxide is gone. If we can make sure we don't get any more meters in here, we should be able to avoid getting carbon dioxide in there, at least for a little while longer. Next step is to transfer over all cooling of the base to this aquatuner right here. Unfortunately, the steam pressure in here is a little bit low, and I'm still waiting for these gas pumps to rip out the last of the carbon dioxide. So we might as well take care of another carbon dioxide problem. Yeah, our base is filling up just a little bit. You know, living on fossil fuels is not the greatest thing in the world for keeping down our carbon dioxide content. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of the carbon dioxide out of here and just dump it into our wasteline going up into space. So instead of using carbon skimmers, we're just going to space dump it. Now, let me just set up a few things here. Very simple system. If this gas element sensor here detects there's carbon dioxide, it turns on the gas pump. Gas pump sucks out the carbon dioxide. It goes back past here, and if there's not carbon dioxide in the pipe, say we've picked up oxygen or something like that, it will get dumped out there. Carbon dioxide, however, goes straight across here and right up into space. A very simple way to hopefully get rid of all of that annoying carbon dioxide. Though, I doubt we'll get hydrogen down there, so that should be the only nasty gas we have to worry about. Are you almost finished? I'd really, really like to switch over our cooling system. Nope, not quite yet. Give me one more minute. It also just dawned on me, we're going to need to reconfigure this for cargo. We have knocked out all the research. All the research is done. We don't need any more of that, we don't need to do any more. Aluminum, yes, we will take you. At the same time, with all the research done, we can get rid of this building. No longer required. Perfect. Let's demolish this and reconfigure for cargo, shall we? One minor mistake. I deleted the command capsule, and now I've just dumped a bunch of boiling hot regolith down here. Did it crush the carbon dioxide? No, I think it forced the carbon dioxide all the way to the top. Oops. Yeah, I think that was carbon dioxide coming out of that pipe that did it. Oh, well, on the bright side, we have an awful lot more steam to go into our industrial sauna, so it all works out in the end. Cargo rocket reconfigured. Let's start loading this sucker up, and oh no, it's happened again. Yes, this has been causing me some issues on and off. It's entombing my liquid pump. Oh, there'll be a solution in the credits. I'm going to have to make a more permanent fix for that, though. Alright, a little bit of renovations here. I limited the water coming out of here to 5 kilos, just so that we can cut down on our water sieves later on. I only want to run one water sieve at a time, just to cut down on space. At the same time, we've got all of this done, so we can rip out that, and we're going to get Grief back in there. I think they've recovered from their stress of being in the capsule for so long before, and now we can launch them off into space. I was kind of hoping to have all the gas out of here beforehand so we could fill this in. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I wanted to vacuum this whole place out, then we could get in here and move that gas vent all the way to the end. But for the time being, this seems to be working quite well, as in the steam from in here is getting sucked in there, and the heat is getting destroyed. So it's not been the worst, to be honest. Yeah, let's get this launched and get ourselves some cargo. The plan is to go to this planet, and we want to get some isoresin. The reason being, we want to make a lot more insulation. I'm going to have to do some more insulation to make this place safer. This asteroid we're launching to is actually the oily one, which means we're going to get back a bunch of methane as well, which we can turn into more natural gas. We'll have to sort that out when it comes back, but for the time being, let's launch this sucker. Come on. Are you not launched yet? I thought I'd already fueled you up. I figured it out. You have to have the gantry below the level of the command capsule. This trick of just turning off auto repair and leaving it there is quite handy. It means, well, there's no deleting it and replacing it, and I know I could retract it using power, but why? There's just no point. And there we go. That instantly seals in the steam. That means we can harvest more power and water out of this thing. Oh, and we can finally get all that salt out of there. With all of that done, I think it's time we finish off our industrial sauna. I'm going to pause this here while I do it, and do it at a much slower speed. What we want to do is use this aquatuner here to take over all the cooling duties of that aquatuner over there. Now the cooling loop is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect that down there, and then deconstruct that liquid bridge. So what should happen is the moment that goes down, that will all start getting dumped into this liquid tank. What are you doing? Just stay there for the time being. We're going to start siphoning that off, and then we're going to plug this in this side. Okay. Then we need to stop this from outputting into this aqua tuner. We want to basically have this tank continue straight on without bothering going through that. So we'll just connect those two like that and disconnect this. There we go. Now all of it should go out. Well, once the liquid tank empties, which could take a while, you know what, we're going to have to stop this from going through, aren't we? Right, we will have to briefly turn off the cooling loop, but we should be able to drain all the liquid into that tank and continue our cooling with very minimal interruption. That's the hope. To make things a bit simpler, let's just remove some of the cooling pipes and maybe start from scratch. That whole thing was a mess anyway. That looks a damn sight cleaner. I've just ripped out all the piping that was no longer necessary. The only real change I've made, though, by ripping everything out, was the water from here is going to be coming up at 5 kilos per second. So that's going to come in here, and the excess overflow will get dumped into this reed fiber here, and any excess after that will just get dumped right up into space through our little liquid vent system over there. It should work, though. If the door is open when a rocket's coming back and we're dumping polluted water, it'll end up in the bottom of the rocket silo, where it should instantly get incinerated. Nope, and speaking of which, there is a rocket returning right now, it would appear. Or am I missing something? Incoming object detected. Oh yeah, perfect. So that's detecting that. Now, down here, we are going to start ourselves a small cooling loop. This cooling loop is just going around to cool down this steam turbine. That's all we're doing for now. If any of our dupes start overheating, we'll worry about that. But since we're probably going to be ripping out most of this, I don't see the point in putting in a giant cooling loop just yet. We're going to have to move the toilets and everything, so this will just keep the steam turbine cool, and that steam turbine will only activate when the temperature in here goes above 170. And we're landed. Perfect, and then the door should close instantly. Right. And now that that's going on, I think it's time we put a few modifications down here. Yes, I think it's time for that indeed. By walling that in that side, we're going to stick in some steel bunker tiles here. And that should act as a decent, well, temperature transfer medium. We can deconstruct this now. And that means we should be dumping heat right into this section. So let's stick a steam turbine on top here, shall we? You know what? Let's put both of them in the middle. That leaves us space over here for something I don't know what yet. I'm sure we'll figure it out at a later date. Automation, let's maybe stick in an automation wire to that second one. Also, I don't want the two of them outputting in the wrong place. And plumb. Alright, temperature in here has definitely gone above 170, 180. Yeah, that's probably due to the rocket silo over here. Now, with all of that done... Oh, no, I made one mistake, didn't I? We're going to drill that out there. And we're going to replace that with an actual door. Nice. That means we now have access from our steam room out into the rocket silo. Which means I'm not even sure we need the steam turbine anymore. I know we put it in there to destroy heat, but if this is going to destroy the heat for us, and do so quite well, I mean, we don't really need this pouring chill down. At the same time, we can actually get rid of this mechanized airlock and stop worrying about dumping heat into our base. I think... Yeah, we'll just stop that there, and I think we can just... You know what? We can just deconstruct it from here. The liquid lock will hold it in place. Little bit of heat problem, but done. Now everyone can get in through this section. And why is the wire not connected? I thought I connected that already. Ah, we're missing our power supply. Right, power supply installed. Oh, come on. We'll sweep up the junk that's down here. Also, there's the reason for all of this weird shenaniganry with the doors up and down. If water ends up down here, I don't want it pouring in here and stifling the gas pump. Gas pump is here so that... Oh, you know what? I might want to replace that with an airflow tab. This can help us suck out any of the carbon dioxide that gets down here. And while simultaneously keeping it safe from any liquids that might end up down the bottom. I think we're going to get rid of this. I don't think we need it anymore. With this down here to absorb the heat, we can keep the heat at about 170. It'll make sure to keep our industrial brick warm, while at the same time the heat in here can't really get out. So, yeah, bye-bye. Quickest way to stop it, let's overheat it, or maybe just deconstruct it. Done. Sweep all of that junk up, and we'll have to mop up this supercoolant that's left behind. Whoa. Oh! Yep, there's that supercoolant loop going around there. That's a problem. Let's immediately insulate that in, and I'm going to have to figure out some way to get the supercoolant out of there. destroy that, deconstruct that liquid bridge. Right. Whew. Okay, I'll do something else to drain that out, but for now, I think... Oh, methane. Yes, we need to get the methane out of there, and we need to get it into our gas storage. We can utilize all of that quite handily. Alright, very simple setup. This is set to collect consumable ore of methane. We're going to empty these, and hopefully we can grab them up before they melt. They're at minus 202. I'm honestly not sure. We'll empty them out, though, and we're going to have to see... I think I can grab them in midair and tell people to pick them up. Yep, use sweep, level 9 priority, and where's the other one? Isoresin, nope. Ah, missed it. Alright, 2 level 9 sweep commands. Now, don't fill... Oh, what the hell happened? Did something melt? Okay, the naphtha melted immediately. Or the isoresin, maybe. Come on. Get that. Are you going to sweep it? Oh. Allow manual use. Come on, 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 come on. 1,000 kilos. Come on, one of you. Seriously? 20 kilos? Pick it all up. Okay, it all goes in there. Ah, nice. What did we lose, though? Yeah, the carbon dioxide popped. I was kind of expecting that. The carbon dioxide didn't last. But the naphtha, that was the isoresin. Okay, so we lost everything. The isoresin that we wanted is gone. The petroleum also melted, maybe? Oh no, we probably picked that up. Let me do a quick inventory. Alright, I figured out what happened. I really must be tired. We didn't bring any petroleum back. All we brought back was isoresin, carbon dioxide, and methane. The methane we got safely stored up here. At some point, it will melt. The carbon dioxide, unfortunately, popped and has flooded this area. The isoresin instantly melted the moment it got out of there. So, we've set up some shipping rails. These shipping rails will dump the cargo out here, and we'll dump it into this section right here, which happens to be a vacuum. That way there can be no temperature transfer. And it's nice and close by. So we should be able to grab everything out of there when we need it and dump the methane up there, dump the isoresin where we want, and if, not be a complete waste of time sending spaceships out. So, let's get this started and fueled up, shall we? Ah, perfect. And we are ready to launch. Oh, done. That will actually bring us more power as well. I might want to hook all that into our natural gas grid. Nope, nope, nope. I want to get the sour gas boiler done. First, let's see what we've got in store here. Briar seeds, I'll take them. I've already got enough snazzy suits for everyone. Bye-bye, rocket. Once it's gone, we can close the doors, save the steam, and oh look, our industrial sauna is there kicking off, producing lots and lots of heat. Oh, overheat damage on the batteries. That might be a little bit too toasty on that side. Oh, damn it. That's not good. Okay, so the ceramic, this is all melting over here. That is a bad sign. Do I need to insulate this? Simple solution, put the output vent right above it and move the battery to the far side. Anything that gets too burnt on this side, we can start replacing it with thermium. But this, unfortunately, the metal refinery, that's made of ceramic. It's as good as it gets. Worst case scenario, we might have to move it to the opposite side, but I really don't want to do that. That's an enormous problem. It's 4 tiles high and 3 tiles wide, which means it doesn't fit with anything else on this side. I suppose I could squish it. No. We're going to just dump water on it and hope that solves the problem for now. For the final step, we will get this gas pump down here. Hook it up to a gas pipe element sensor set to carbon dioxide, and it can start siphoning out all the carbon dioxide out of the bottom of the missile silo when it happens, which it seems is probably going to happen a few times. Okay, I think the industrial brick is finally done. Just maybe stick in a couple of these. Now we can start moving our power transformers in here. We move our power transformers in here because we don't have to care about them overheating. We will put you about there, I think. And there, 2 of our power transformers can be removed so that we can, because we've replaced them with our new power transformers. This has turned out to be not the sour gas boiler today. Never mind, you probably knew because I titled the video, Not the Sour Gas Boiler or something. Or Industrial Sauna. This, I'm semi-happy with. The overheating, that's a problem. I think what we're going to do, though, to get around that, maybe if we layer this with bunker tiles on the outside... Oh wait, I'll have to move that gas sensor. Instead of having nothing but bunker tiles between the 2 of them, which is actually pretty conductive, we'll put in a layer of sandstone tiles. Now the bunker tiles will be on the outside, sandstone on the inside, and they still will transfer temperature, just more slowly and hopefully more controlled. Let's have a quick look when the rocket comes back. Alright, rocket inbound. Once the rocket lands, we'll know how that worked out. We're using sandstone tile as a heat slowdown insulator thing. We'll never know. Alright, temperature has spiked up massively. How's it going? Oh, it's already gone above 270. That is bad. Yep. But it's not transferring to the steam quite so quickly. And we're just staying below the 275 mark. That is... Up here it gets a bit toasty, but that's where we're fitting the thermium. Alright, so all we're really worried about is this, and that's fine. So long as we don't relaunch instantly, we should be good to go. That was close, but it worked. Oh, and I moved the carbon dioxide sensor to down here. Though that does mean we're going to pump out the occasional bit of steam. I'm not too concerned. I maybe could move it up just a tiny tad. Yeah, we'll get rid of all the carbon dioxide first. Why not? Where did... did all of that get spit out? We've got carbon dioxide and... Oh, where is the rest? Where is my visco-gel? Isoresin. Ah, never mind. My isoresin is sneakily hidden over here. Turns out I dumped it all into this section because I was doing my refinement over this side. So that's where my fullerene, my isoresin, and all that stuff has been hiding itself. That's okay, so long as we can get some insulation. But I am way over time again, and I still haven't even started on the sour gas boiler. This worked out really well. That sandstone insulation is absolutely perfect. It's just keeping us perfectly balanced. So long as we don't launch the rocket, you know, straight away. We'll just have to give it a minute. At the same time, I think the next step will be rip all of this out and just move all of our housing across. We can just put all our housing over here and be done with it, and that will be our final move. Then we can just rip all of this out, put in our second rocket silo and our sour gas boiler. Yes, I know, I've been promising to get around to the sour gas boiler for ages, but if I didn't procrastinate at least a little bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.